Hello everyone, Pavlo with you, one and only version of Pavlo that comes with your daily dose of Ukrainian accent. And today we are going to discuss iFi GO Blu Air, more affordable version of popular iFi Bluetooth receiver GO Blu. Despite of lower price, this one costs about $130, iFi decided to make no compromise in the audio part, which is really exciting news for those who want a great sound for less price. It's still a pretty capable Bluetooth receiver with a powerful output. On the balanced out, you can get up to 262 milliwatts for 32 ohms load or up to 52 milliwatts for 600 ohms of load, which is pretty impressive. And you getting Bluetooth 5.2 up to 10 hours of work time and support of all modern Bluetooth codecs, including high-resolution ones. So it's all sound exciting. Let's check out this device. As you can see, package is small, simple and straightforward. But on the other hand, we can consider it as an eco-friendly option, because the less package you have, the less your impact on the environment is. And inside we'll get some papers like manual, quick start guide, also sticker and MQA setup card after sale, so a lot of different information. Then device itself, then magnet magnet clip, USB-C cable and additional bag. So let's see what we're getting here in more details. So cable is absolutely simple, straightforward, short USB Type-A to USB Type-C. Storage pouch, small, compact and pretty pleasant, made of some velvety material. And here is a clip, but let's first take a look at the device. Design in terms of shape is pretty similar to the regular version of GO Blu, but here used different materials, and honestly I really like it. So first great idea is to use transparent plastic, and this pleather insert here just adding a bit of accent in the design. It's compact, it's super lightweight, like 30 grams or so, and it's really convenient. So great for device that most likely you will be carrying somewhere on your, I don't know, neck, maybe collar or sleeve or somewhere else. And of course, a lot of interesting things to pick inside. There are a few controls, so here is on-off button, two outputs, headphone and also headphone but balanced and single-ended, but for single-ended iFi used their S-balanced technology. And also button to use this X-Base and X-Space technologies. On the bottom there is a charger port, reset hole and the battery LED indicator and the microphone hole. Speaking about the battery, actually it works up to 10 hours, but of course it depends on codec used and the volume set. So 10 hours are practically reachable with some easy to drive headphones. And here is this clip, and it uses magnets, and that's one of the greatest ideas in my opinion, because with almost zero additional thickness you can just attach clip whenever you need. It holds really well, and you can strap it to your collar or somewhere else. And if you want, if you need, you can just rotate it in the opposite direction. For example, if you're wearing it somewhere on your shirt, for example, you want to orient microphone up, then you will use it this way. If you're using it, I don't know, on the sleeve of your t-shirt, maybe you want to orient it this way, because it will be hanging upside down. So really convenient thing, and It's not some breakthrough idea, but actually it's kind of great in the great with its simplicity. So you turn it on, pressing this button, and LED indicator here is blinking, that meaning that it's ready to pair. You press this button to toggle between different modes, and short press it's X base X space, and long press is pairing. And here is volume knob, and single press is play pause, double press is next track, triple press is previous track. So everything is simple, everything is straightforward, everything is convenient and pretty nice looking. In terms of the sound, it's almost the same device as the original GO Blu, so there is no like junior or senior device, or like this is light version in terms of sound. So of course it's a more affordable device, but iFi saved money not on the sound aspect, and that's a really good thing to hear. And it has a similar signature, technical, but at the same time with a hint of additional warmth and slightly boosted dynamics to balance this. Such type of tuning gives you engaging musical and pleasant sound signature, which suits great for many genres and many listening preferences. So bass goes deep, it's well controlled, it has a nice amount of small nuances and details. Of course, depth is not maximum, but it's limitation of Bluetooth codecs, and at the same time, maximum amount of depth for Bluetooth here is reached, and the low frequencies are equally accented with weight, but this accent is not big, so you don't getting like overwhelming warmth or unpleasant weight or like dark and muddy sound. No, just a additional weight to make notes a bit thicker, to slightly highlight instruments, but not too much. At the same time, thanks to great dynamics when necessary, you getting good punches, and thanks to decent amplification, you getting great control over low frequencies with almost any headphones. So let's see what we've got as an example, and it's Evenin by Hugh, Laurie. Nice engaging bass, and that type of signature really fitting this track, because all tracks on the Hugh Laurie albums are covers of classics, and here it really fits overall feeling of this track with a bit of vintage and really analog sounding. Mid frequencies are musical, natural, but this boosted dynamics and emotions really gives you additional immersion into the music, highlighting emotional part of the track. Everything is sound coherent. Amount of small nuances is normal, but there is no focus on the micro contrast, and it's definitely not an analytical type of representation, which is a good thing, especially if you don't have something perfectly recorded in your media library, or if you prefer listening, for example, to streaming services and not like high-res lossless ones. So, imaginary stage is above average in width and in depth, not huge, but above average and pretty nicely built. I like that additional weight with male vocals, but also I like that this additional weight doesn't shadow female vocals and aggressive guitar parts when it's necessary. And example for the mid frequencies, it's Time by Helloween. Nice ballad with really groovy type of bass and low frequencies that immerse you into this track. But at the same time, main part of this track is guitars and vocal, and all that represented with great emotions, really giving you pleasant feeling that is necessary when listening to great metal ballads. And high frequencies, of course, don't expect here rich layering or super extension. It's not for the Bluetooth codecs overall, but still nicely balanced attacks and decays, slightly softened, but not too much. Not forward treble, but still present and enough to give you overtones. But at the same time, no harsh sound, no highlighted sibilance or some unpleasant metal sound. So overall fitting to the sound signature of this device. And the example for the high frequencies is Fallen Angel by King Crimson. Sophisticated percussions instrument that goes to the high frequency area. Of course, this track requires much higher technical performance overall, but still it sounds really pleasant thanks to the good control of high frequencies and proper attacks and decays here. If you want, you can use this X-Space and X-Bass features. X-Bass making sound noticeably warmer, like in classical understanding of warmth, reducing resolution and giving more weight and smoothness. And X-Space just making imagery stage bigger, but not with all tracks. It sounds in a convincing and natural way. So I prefer to keep these both enhancers off, but it's nice to have them because sometimes they can be really useful. And also need to admit that it holds the connection really well with all Bluetooth codecs. So that was a even slight improvement over the original Go Blu. In terms of pairings, it's a pretty universal device with super sensitive IEMs like these ones, for example. There is a bit of background noise, but to my ears, not too much. And if you're not using something super sensitive, you'll get a nice black background overall. And on the other hand, you're getting pretty decent control over full-size headphones and even not super sensitive ones. So not a super powerful device, but surprisingly good control for such a small Bluetooth receiver. Speaking about the compressions, I've did some light compressions with original Go Blu, and I'm not confident. It sounds to me that this one is slightly more dynamic on the mid frequencies, slightly more boosting emotions, but I can't be 100% confident here. Also, subjectively, it looks like this one has a slightly better Bluetooth connectivity in complex environments when there are a lot of interference like Wi-Fi networks around you. I've got few hiccups with classic Go Blu and zero hiccups with Go Blu Air. Shanling UA6, for example, it's more classical warm with less of boosted dynamics and emotions, but slightly better defined treble. And few Bluetooth receivers are totally opposite in terms of sound. They are more natural, more focused on small nuances without any coloration, unlike this one, so it's just a matter of your preferences in sound. And to summarize everything, I think that it's a great move from iFi because they offering same sound that a lot of people liked with Go Blu, but with less affordable price. And they've cut the price, of course, but they did it in the not so important aspects like plastic case and removing of USB DAC functionality, but at the same time preserving the sound, giving better Bluetooth version, and a great feature with this magnet clip. So I really like it, and I'm pretty sure that other companies will copy that in near future. So great move from iFi. While inflation grows and everything became more and more expensive, you can get the same sound as original Go Blu for less price, or maybe almost the same, pretty close one. So thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a great day.